That will help me unpack this, and even for the viewers, you're so passionate about the indices. For the viewer, these are the nationally determined contributions. Basically, think about it in this sense. You have a list of things that you promise that you're going to do, and you're going to be reviewing them, after every, for this case, after every 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's the layman's term of it.
Yeah.
Now for this, and we're going to particularly talk about Kenya. Mm-hmm. I think this was the third?
Yeah,
the third NDC mm-hmm. that we now renewed.
Yeah.
A review of our first and second, were we able to achieve it? And your take on our third NDC, the details in this particular NDC, even for the viewers to understand what is detailed in this nationally determined contributions for Kenya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in 2016, 2017, we said we're going to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by about 30%. Mm-hmm. And then in 2020, we said we'll move them to about 32%. And now in 2025, we are talking about 35%. Have we made significant reduction? Have we achieved what we said we will? The short answer is no, mm-hmm. at least for the most part of it. And it's a very complex answer. There's a very complex reason behind why we haven't been able to achieve it. And I think the obvious reasons that we've had in these negotiation rooms is we do not have the capacity in terms of, technology transfer, in terms of financing, in terms of the right expertise and skill set to be able to have and reduce our emissions, the greenhouse gas emissions, by the percentages that we are talking about. Mm-hmm. So no, we haven't been able to meet most of these targets we have outlined in the NDC. And NDC 2.3 is also quite ambitious, I would say. There's lots of information. We're moving from 32 to 30, mm-hmm. and we've come all the way from 30, and now we are in 35, promising to move it thereabouts in 2025. That's quite ambitious. Right. Also, bearing in mind all the geopolitics and everything going around. But like we mentioned, the disinformation is doing a lot of advantage when it comes to innovation. We talk about challenges of skill set, we talk about challenges of financing, but we also see major countries like the US pulling out of the Paris Agreement. So that only leaves us with one choice. What are the alternatives? If we have to achieve this by 2050, what can we do within our capacity as a country to get to that point? And I think that's the direction that Kenya is taking with the third round of the NDC that we have supported. But also allude to what Michael said, we are still going to work with the parties that are willing to pay up for this L&D, but we are not banking on this kind of financing mm-hmm. to do all that we need to do to have or reduce our emissions to the required levels.
And interesting you say that, because during the UNGA summit, mm-hmm. President William Ruto said that Kenya needs about 56